Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away, brand new week. Today we're going to be doing pack 5 of the Agora models release. I build the Lamborghini Miura. Pack 5 already, this build's going so quick. Let me just show you what we've actually worked on, in particular the engine at the moment. As you can see, this has been mounted to the plate, and it's this that we're actually going to be building on today. We're going to be having another, like we've done here, we're going to have another brake disc and caliper to put in here, and we're going to be putting a lot of details around this section. That's why I've got this section together now. Absolutely amazing detail model, but if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here to the Agora Models website, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. So, if you notice this week, it is the holiday week, so things are going to be all over the place. There's not going to be as many videos out during the week, but there is live streams on Tuesday, Wednesday for Patreons, and Thursday. You'll also notice I've changed a few things, like the header card on the YouTube channel, and I've also changed the end card as well. See if you can notice what's different on that. But, without further ado, let's get cracking. So it's all going to start in stage 34, and as you can see, we've got the next brake disc and caliper. You'll also notice I've got a brand new cutting mat. I just go for a thing with cutting mats. I don't know what it is with me. I do like having a new cutting mat now and again. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to be putting these two sections together to make the brake disc, and as you can see, this is just going to go on here like this, and then it just clips in. So it looks just like that. We're going to be putting this onto that engine piece that you just saw, just onto this section here. But the first thing we need to do is get the caliper here, and we just need to push this on the pins on this side of the brake. So I'm just getting these all the way in, and that's just one half of the caliper in there like that. Grab the disc, that goes on next, and then to finish it off, we've got two lugs just at the top here. We put that in the other side of the caliper. 1, 2, push it together, and that's that in place, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 35, we're going to be installing the Coolant auxiliary reservoir. Mrs. Worldaway will be very proud of me because I can't say the word reservoir. For the longest time I've been pronouncing it reservoir. But no, I've been schooled and found out it's pronounced reservoir. So there you go. Let's get these out. So the Coolant auxiliary reservoir is two pieces here, and this is the first two pieces that we're just going to be putting together. So as you can see, we have got a little gap just in this section for the cap. So it's just a case of putting these two lugs together and pushing them in. So it's one unit. Just put those to one side. We're going to be bringing over the engine and base here. And as you can see, we've got two tabs just at the bottom here. They're going to go into the two holes here, with this pipe just going underneath the engine like this. Get this in. And when that's in, it should look just like that. So then, if we just turn this around here, on this edge here, we've got two holes there, which we're just going to be putting these two lugs on this pipe into place. Now it should hold itself quite well in there, but there you go, that's that pipe in. Now I don't know if you can see on the top camera, but this end of the pipe, there is a hole just inside this frame, just under the corner here, that we need to put that into. Took some time to get that in, but when that's in, that looks just like that. The last pipe we've got is going to come out of this section just here, so I'm just going to plug that into the end. And the other end should come out just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So that leads us swiftly on to stage 36 here, where we got the anti-roll bar. Get all these out. Bringing over the engine again, and where we put this pipe before, we're going to be putting the right tyre rod. In the pack they are labelled left and right. I'm just seeing if they're labelled actually on the part as well. No, so just check the pack when you put them in. And these are just going to go into two holes that we have just got in the side there. Get these on. That goes in just like that, and the bottom of it is just going to fit into this indent down here. We're going to do exactly the same on the left hand side. So again, we've got 2 holes just in the frame here. So if you look on the top camera, they're all in. Now on this side, where we've got these links that are going up, just like that, we're actually going to be putting the anti-roll bar on. That's just going to go into each one of those links there. So what we want to do is just push these in. It's going to be fiddly because it is just a push fit. So it might be worth just getting some pliers and just prying these slightly apart. This is what they're recommending in the instructions here. So we can get that in just like that. And then we can just use pliers. Actually, let's use some flat nose pliers just to push them back into place again. So that's one. Do the same on the other side here, just like that. Again, push them together. Excellent. And there's the anti-roll bar in place. Now I'm going to pick this up and drop it down onto the back section there, and this is where we've got these little tabs which are going into the holes on each side, and that's going to keep these into place. So one in that side and one in that side. So as you can see, perfectly in place, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 37, as you can see, we've got another wheel to do. We've done one wheel already. Get these parts out. Now this wheel needs to go into the rim here, so I have got a bowl, and Mrs. Welderwayne doesn't know it yet, but I have got some boiling hot water here, which I've kept in her thermos flask, which I'm just going to drop that tyre in. I will put a mat down. As you can see, I've got a C3PO mat today. Don't want to get this wet. Leave that just to soak for a second. That should be long enough. Let me just fish this out, and I'll get this into place. Just like that. Revolving it around, making sure it's in that side. Do the same on the other side. Perfect. Dry it off. And there we go. We've got another wheel. Now before we finish this stage, they do recommend getting some silver paint. I've got some Vallejo here and a really fine brush. And that horizontal pipe that we put in the last stage is just find the little nuts on the end and put a little tiny bit of silver just on top to give the effect of bolts. So one there and one there. I think that looks pretty cool. Just like that. And that's all there is to do in this stage. So in stage 38 here, we're going to start preparing the transmission tunnel. Get this open. And we've got some air vents to put in first. And as you can see, they do have D-shaped patterns on the end of it. And these are going to go into these points onto this panel just here. So we need to make sure that when we put them in, the vents, which I'm just lining up here, face towards the middle. So I'll put this one in first, and that should look like that. And then just one in the other side, again lining up the D-shaped pattern, and that one's in just like that there. Now we have got these two bits left over, which we can just put to one side, because now they're saying, we could have done this last time actually. Let me just dry my paintbrush up. In a similar fashion to what we did just on this pipe at the side, use some of this silver paint that I've still got here, just to put some silver just on the ends of the anti-roll bar here. So I'll do that gently here and show you what that looks like. That's one side done. Let's just do this side. I'll show you up to the top camera. As you can see, that looks 100 times better. But that's all there is to do in that stage. Now it looks like we're starting to work on the cockpit now. Stage 39, we've got the cockpit floor here. Get this out. Oh, this looks lovely. Look at this. It's all flocked. You know me, love a bit of flocking. Check this out. This is great. Very detailed. Look at that. You've got to have a feel. Oh, wow. That is brilliant. Love it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting in the passenger footrest. This came into the last stage. So what we need to do is take off the adhesive tape from behind here. Just like that. And I want to line this up with the slots that you can just see in there. And that is absolutely perfect. Perfect first time, actually. That never happens on the World of Wayne channel. So there you go, that looks like that. Now, in those slots, we've got a passenger footrest, which looks like that. It goes in this way into those slots. So push this in on each side. Make sure they're in all the way so you can see them out the bottom there. That's perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 40 here, we're continuing with this transmission tunnel. We've got some side cover and air vents to put on. So again, I'll get these air vents out here. And these are just going to go into, again, the D-shaped little holes that we've got there. Just making sure I put the right one in the right place. So the first one on this side, when the D-shaped pattern's on, should be facing directly down. So that's this one here. Push that in. As you can see, that looks like that. And just do the same on the other side. The last plate we got here, as you can see, has got some adhesive on it again. Just taking that off. And that's going to go into the ingress that we can see just here. Line that up. Perfect. Getting things right first time today. This could be promising for this week. There you go. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So stage 41 here, we've got headrests and the driver side details. Get all these out. So we're going to take the driver's mat and take the adhesive off the back. Bring over the floor pan again and just stick this into place here. Excellent. That's looking really good, isn't it? Check that out. You want to take this little gear release, and we have got a little tiny knob to go on. Now this knob is in with this section here. So I'm just going to push that on just like that, and then we can leave that to one side. We're then going to take the headrest looking like this, and as you can see we have some lugs at the bottom. They're just going to go into the holes just at the back here. So I'm just going to line these up, push this in. One on that side and one on that side. Make sure that's flush in there. That's looking brilliant. On the side here, this is where this release handle is going. So we just push that into the slot here. Like that. And we're going to secure this back section in using two screws that come in this. These are B screws. These come in this stage. And they're going into the holes just here. So one this side and one just on the other side there. All that's left to do then is to put the central tunnel section into the vehicle. So I'm just going to put this over the top here. Make sure it sits perfectly like that. So then we can turn this over. And again, using B screws, we're just going to be putting a B screw just in this end down here. Hold that from the other side. Excellent. And then just one near the top here. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So that leads us to the last stage here, and basically in this one we're installing the central console and rear panel. I've got a little wire there. So this is the central console here. Let me just get this open. We have got this tiny knob in this section here. I'm going to get that out. And that's actually just going to go into this hole just here. So putting that in, making sure it's round the right way. It actually says wiper. And that looks like that. There is a little key here, so don't lose that. I don't know if you can see that there. Keep that to one side. Now I'm going to be putting one of the bits of electrics in here. Now the way this goes in, it goes in sort of like long ways in. So when I put that in, it's going to go in just like that, with the switch section just coming out of this side. And the way this is going to work is when I have this key, and I put the key in here, which I'll just put in so I don't lose it, it's going to activate that switch just there. I don't know if you can see that, but I will just keep the key in there so I don't lose that. But that's the switch installed. Just put that to one side because we're going to take the vent that we worked on previously as well. And again, bring over the floor pan. And the vents here are just going to go into the slots just at the back here. So as you can see, we have got some blades just to push into these slots. 1 and 2. And get that clipped in. So that looks like that. Then we're going to put the center console in. So we just need to make sure that the wire here is actually going into this hole just here. So get that in there all the way, and then lay this console down. So make sure, as you can see there, it's coming out of that little box there. And then we're going to be putting the screws, B-screws again, just to secure this down. Secure just in these 2 back points here. So one there, and just one on the other side. As I said before, you don't want to lose this key, so I'm going to keep the key in there just like that. That'll activate that switch, and that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. I loved that. That was absolutely great. Let me just show you what that's looking like. It's great when you start to do the interior. So that's what the interior is starting to look like now. And also, we also did a lot of work on the engine, anti-roll bars, and that is looking just like that there. I love it. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link just down here in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Next video is going to be the live stream tomorrow, where we're going to start work on the Sterling Kit V8 engine. Take care.